It's a funny thing, really, the things you'll do for your children when you become a parent. Becoming a parent changes everything about you. Your world shifts and stops becoming about you and becomes all about them. I won't lie and pretend that my kids are always on my mind 100% of the time. But damn, my daughters do occupy my mind about 70% of the time, with the remaining 30% divided by my wife, my work, and finally me. So it's safe to say, I put my children first. Protecting them and preparing them for the cruel reality while still allowing them to be children is no easy task. But what happens if it all comes crumbling down? How would a father react and adapt to a situation where you are losing your child? Can you even adapt properly? Well, today we're going to take a look at the most powerful scene in Resident Evil 2 Remake, as this is a father's perspective on the Robert Kendo scene in Resident Evil 2.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
I said don't move.
I'm just passing through. I'm gonna ask you to lower that weapon.
I tell you what, you're gonna turn around and go right back out the way you came in.
I think your daughter needs help, sir.
Don't tell me how to deal with my daughter.
Drop it.
No! Wait!
Step aside. We need to terminate her before she turns.
Terminate. It's my fucking daughter.
Ada. Just let them be.
Emma? Sweetheart, I told you to stay put.
Daddy.
Daddy's here. Okay. Those fucking things outside. What they did to us. You're a cop. You're supposed to know something. How did this happen? Huh? She was our sweet little angel.
Mommy.
I was sleeping, honey. Okay? And I'm gonna put you to bed too, okay? Emma. Just go. Just give us some privacy.
You know, it's one thing to keep the truth from me, but why him? I want to find out what's happening here and stop whoever's behind it. Helping people like them? That's why I joined the force.
My mission is to take down Umbrella's entire operation. We may not make it out.
Whatever it takes to save this city. Count me in.
Resident Evil 2 Remake was a marvel on its own. It took a lot of the elements that we loved from the original and tweaked others to make them fit with the new style the remake had. One tweak was more than just a tweak. They took the character of Robert Kendo and completely reworked his character. In the original, we see Kendo is the owner of the gun shop. Through the story elements, we know he is friends with Barry Burton and he would make guns for the STARS members. During the events of the original Resident Evil 2, he is killed as zombies swarm into his gun shop. The remake, however, changed this completely. We enter his gun shop and we see that it has been ransacked and potentially looted, judging by the mess. Leon and Ada had just made it out of the police station, and as they make their way through the gun shop, Kendo appears. Kendo is distraught by all the events that have been going on, and so he is overly cautious regarding Leon and Ada. He has a gun raised aimed at the two and demands for them not to move. As Kendo demands for them to leave, Leon notices Kendo's daughter, Emma. Clearly, as the player, we know his daughter is infected. And it seems the infection has not yet fully transformed Emma into a zombie, as she is still able to speak. Leon suggests that Emma needs help, which angers Kendo. At this point, Ada pulls her gun out and tells Kendo to drop his weapon as she aims her gun at Emma. Ada knows of the danger of leaving Emma alive, saying that she needs to be terminated. Leon convinces Ada to just let them be. Ada obliges, and Kendo lowers his weapon as well. Emma calls for her father, and Kendo goes to hug his daughter. This scene honestly was not something I ever expected to see in a Resident Evil game. These games are usually pretty straightforward. You have stories in the games, yes, but they have never been stories that you can truly relate to, as they tend to focus more on fighting the monsters and the corporations that created them. As a father, this scene hits home extremely hard. In fact, when I first saw this scene on my live stream when the game released, I teared up. This is something that no Resident Evil game has ever done. I have to credit the emotionality of this scene to the wonderful performances of Nick Apostolidis, who plays Leon, Jolene Anderson, who plays Ada, and Ken Lally, who plays Robert Kendo. The entire scene is perfectly delivered, and combined with the motion capture work and the detailed facial animations, it hits your feelings all too well, especially as a father of two daughters. As I watch this scene over and over, I can begin to actually break it down more and more. See, the first time I saw this, I was caught up in the moment. I felt like I went from playing the game to watching a movie. Subsequent playthroughs, however, show so much more. The first moment we see Kendo, we see his desperation as a father. Confused as to what's going on and determined to protect his daughter. Through the scene, we learn his wife is not with them, most likely due to her dying by the undead, and probably at the same moment Emma was bit. This is a man who in a span of less than probably 24 hours has lost everything. His response to Leon saying that Emma needs help is clear indication he is aware of the condition Emma is in, and yet he clings on because he is afraid to lose his daughter, his little angel. Once Emma calls out for him, we completely see Kendo's demeanor change. He is a grieving father who can't yet bring himself to say goodbye to his daughter. He is angry because no one was there to help them when they needed them the most. This is especially heartbreaking when you know Kendo's close ties to the police. With Leon standing in front of him, he is now able to show his frustrations and blames Leon for the situation they are in. Stating that Leon is a cop and that he should know the situation, we see the walls inside this father break down. After a brief pause, Kendo's voice changes. It becomes soft, and the expression on his face is of a father who has nothing left. As he holds Emma, he says, "She was our sweet little angel." At this moment, choosing to speak in the past tense, we now understand that he knows his daughter is gone. When he speaks to his daughter, telling her that mommy is sleeping and that he will put her to bed too, it becomes clear that he knows what he needs to do, and that he is saying these things not for Emma, but for himself. As Kendo takes Emma back inside and closes the door, we hear a gunshot and a body fall, indicating he shot Emma. There is a bit more to this story, however, and before I speak about my own thoughts, we need to touch on this. There are two important details here, one before the story and one right after. These two things are probably the most important and provide context as to the type of father Kendo was. The first takes place during the events of Resident Evil 3 Remake. RE3 acts as a prequel sequel to the events of RE2, as it takes place before, during, and after the events of RE2. It is here we see Jill run into Kendo at his shop, and she asks Kendo to go with her to escape.
Don't move! Shit, Jill!
Kendo, you're all right.
Yeah, all right's a stretch. Sorry, I got a little jumpy there. Didn't know quite what to expect.
No shit. Look, we're using the subway to get people out of town. You in?
Subway. Well, that's good thinking.
When we get out, there's gonna be a lot to do. We could use a man of your skill set. What's wrong?
Nothing. Just bad timing is all. Yeah. Look, don't worry about me. I'm gonna make other arrangements, okay?
You better. You're the best gunsmith around.
Oh, no.
Don't do anything stupid.
Oh, that's your job, right? Take care, Jill. If you're heading to the station, take that service alley out in front of the shop, okay? The key's hanging on the wall. It's all right, Pumpkin. It's all right. That's a good girl.
Kendo refuses and chooses to stay behind. At this moment, if you move close to the door with Jill, you can hear Kendo consoling Emma. Before leaving, Jill leaves a note behind for Kendo to follow her, a note that he never receives. The next detail takes place after, and is told by the DLC Ghost Survivors. Ghost Survivors is non-canon, but they do tell the canonical stories before the non-canon stories begin. It turns out that after Leon and Ada left, Kendo took his shotgun and killed himself. We don't know how long until after Leon and Ada left this occurs, as we only heard the single shot and body fall. The importance of these two moments for Kendo's character as a father show that there was nothing in the world that was more important than his family. He had multiple opportunities to leave, and yet he didn't. It shows a man who would never be able to live with just the memory of his wife and daughter, and instead chose to die alongside them. And I can't say I blame him. One of the hardest things as a parent is losing a child. As a parent, you never want to outlive your children. One could make an argument here that neither Kendo's wife or daughter would have wanted Kendo to take his own life. But I ask you, would you really have done anything differently? As a father of two daughters, I can't say if I would have been able to live with myself knowing my family is gone. And even if I did choose to keep on living, I know that I wouldn't be more than a shadow of my former self. Just the mere thought of waking up every day, knowing that I would no longer see their smiling faces, hear their laughter, or watch them play, that I would never again hug them, read to them, and kiss them goodnight. It's enough to break any man. In the end, Kendo did what he knew he could do, because this was a decision he made before Jill even arrived. And as I thank you for watching this video, I want to tell you parents out there to hug your kids and tell them you love them. Because the only thing that is certain in life is the limited time we have. So excuse me while I go hug my daughters.